to Studio One Vintage Guitars, New Zealand's home of vintage guitars. My name is Nick Brightwell, and today we're back in the 60s. We've got a 67 D-28 here. Now, what does that mean? That means Brazilian. The fabled wood of the Martin era. This is Brazilian rosewood is what it's all about. There's a lot of debate out there. People say rosewood doesn't matter, it's all the same. I'll just tell you that these Brazilian guitars are exceptional. They're really just, you know, the response, the sound is something to behold. It truly is. Now, I've said in the past, and it is true, that a good piece of East Indian rosewood can sound as good as Brazilian, but we're talking, you got to get real lucky with that East Indian rosewood. And I'll just say personally, I have an OM28 that has East Indian rosewood. I have played that a lot. It doesn't sound like Brazilian. I've had that guitar a long time. I've got a few other guitars that I've been looking after. A D-28 that has East Indian, that has East Indian that almost looks like Brazilian. It has almost like a similar pattern, and that guitar sounds amazing, but it still just doesn't have the depth and clarity. What I hear when I hear Brazilian rosewood guitar, or when I play it, I hear, one, it feels like the sound wants to go that way more. So we know with mahogany it really sends the sound that way. And we know with rosewood it kind of has a more wraparound sound. I feel Brazilian is just a little bit more rigid or a little bit more dense, that it sends a little bit more that way. So you could say East Indian gives you more wraparound, Brazilian sends it that way. But ultimately, overall, this is sending more out compared to East Indian. Maybe this is because it's a 60s guitar, but I'm going to try and find kind of some sweet spots in here so you can really hear, like, you can hear the low end there. When I pull this guitar out and start playing it, you know, Josh is sitting back there with headphones on and he's hearing all these other guitars. And then he hears this and he's like, whew. And I'll just say Josh is not a guitar player, so he's just kind of slowly learning what guitars sound like as he sits in front of me playing them. And yeah, he definitely went, wow. So let's just look at the specs quickly. So we've got a Sitka spruce top, so we haven't got Adirondack. That's why these guitars are a bit cheaper, because Adirondack was used up during World War II, and this is just over 20 years later. So we've got a Sitka spruce top, and we don't have herringbone, we have just a general bound top. Now my opinion is, playing a few of these 60s era, is that the herringbone creates kind of a different vibration from the top. And these kind of simpler binding, I think, sometimes opens up the top a little bit more in a different way. I find you get a lot of sympathetic vibrations off these guitars. Now, talking about this particular guitar, mine, it's in very, very good condition. Like, it's kind of like, wow, like, what has this guitar been up to? Because it hasn't really been up to much. So it sounds great. I just don't know how much it's been played in. It sounds great. I just don't think it's been played in, you know, the hours and hours like a gigged guitar would go. So if you're looking for yourself a mint condition guitar or very good condition guitar, yeah, this is the one you're looking for. Like, I'm just looking at here in the light. We've got some, you know, stray kind of pick stuff that's happened here. We've got a couple of, you know, we've got some stuff that you can see in the light. But really, we have no heavy dents. You know, this hasn't hit a microphone in its life or anything like that. And looking on the back, we have no cracks. You know, the guitar at this stage, you're not really worrying about the Brazilian cracking. They say that Brazilian can crack just over time. It just naturally does that. But this is still a very new guitar. So I guess what's great about this era, it's a 67, so how many years is that? That's like, it's like 50 or so years. Like, it's not quite, you know, it's still, this is going to sound amazing in 20, 30 years time, just absolutely phenomenal. To be honest, you're always looking for the next guitar. I'm really interested in these 60s at the moment, because I can't afford a 30s or a 40s at all, but a 60s is just with an obtanium. And yeah, I'm very interested in finding just that perfect one. So I think the advantage really with this guitar is it hasn't been played in. So if you are out there looking for a guitar that you really want to kind of bring into your own, play it and make it sound more how you play, this is a perfect example. And having the Brazilian Rosewood kind of gives you an option that's just, you can't get. You know, you go to other stores and they'll have, you go to other brands and they'll have new Brazilian guitars. I haven't played a modern Brazilian guitar that stands up to this older wood. You know, this wood was dried, as Martin had, for 100 years already. It had been in stock for a lot of time. A lot of the Brazilian that you find nowadays is coming from all sorts of directions. You know, it's coming out of stump wood. It's not the premium tree that was felled before the embargo. So I'm just gonna. Leave it there. I'm just going to say if this guitar is still here by the time this videos go up, then it'll be a miracle. We've already got one guy interested in it and we're going to do a video for him just after this. Yeah, so we're going to continue on with a couple more guitars similar to this. We've got another 67 and we've got a 58. So we'll see how we go. Yeah, so get onto our website and check out and see if these are available if you're interested. They're all very good. This guitar as well is kind of like, I can't pick. At first I thought this was my favorite, but now I'm playing this one and going, oh, this is my favorite. But this is also very good as well. So we'll just see how we get on. But we're going to leave it there. So yeah, as I've been saying these last few videos, if you've been following along, yeah, things are going really great at the shop here. We're really picking up some steam, and we're going to bring you guys some new content soon. We're all loving this work. I'm really enjoying it. We're going to start bringing you some more performances and different forms of content. We're going to revisit a lot of these guitars in a different way, get some more camera angles, get a little bit of different sound gear going. So if you're an audiophile, we're getting real serious. We're going to get a miniature Neve board in here. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. So yeah, once again, my name is Nick Brightwell. This is a 1967 D-28 with the Brazilian Rosewood back and sides. Have a good one, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.